Street Fighter 2 or Super Street Fighter 2 Revival is a Game Boy Advance game, as you can see, and I'm going to put it in my pink DS and once again play some beat 'em up action. And we'll zoom in, get that screen there in focus, touch that bitch, start that game. Oh yeah. So yes, Super Street Fighter 2 Revival. Basically a Game Boy Advance rehash of Super Street Fighter 2. And yeah, arcade we'll go for. Problem with these games is basically the lack of, well, not so much on, well yeah, I was going to say not so much on the DS, but it makes no difference. The lack of buttons. The DS has 4 buttons. This game will be awesome on the DS, but the controls are limited with it being a Game Boy Advance game, because you've only got a couple of buttons and shoulder buttons. So anyway, as you can see, there's a different graphical style to, well, artwork style, should I say, art design to the original Super Street Fighter 2. So you got normal, Turbo 1, Turbo 2, Turbo 3, so you got all the turbo options, but I'm not repping them in it, I'm going old school. So yeah, you've basically got kind of rehashed music, graphics, pretty much what you'd expect from a remake of a game. For me, I'd rather just play Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, to be honest. I do have quite a few versions of Street Fighter 2. I have, I think, all the Mega Drive versions, Champion Edition, Super, I remember whether there was 2 or 3 on the Mega Drive. As I got Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, and then I also have it obviously on the Game Boy Advance and the Super Nintendo of Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So yeah, one of my favourite all-time games. Having difficulty with this DS D-pad, which is very similar to the Game Boy Advance D-pad, and not the, well, I usually do like this design of D-pad for fighting games, but yeah, it's not the best. Some people might like the all-in-one kind of dial. I'd call it D-pad, the circular ones. I actually prefer this style, but I prefer it to be a lot further set back into the actual console, the controller, the console, because the console is a controller. More like the PlayStation kind of D-pad. That's my favourite pad for playing fighting games. Struggling to get my special moves down. Let's try Fireball. So it's very hit and miss using this this D-pad. So that's one of the issues with this game for me. It's a cool kind of title to have in your pocket, but unfortunately, I think the controls are its undoing. It's just a shame as well that these buttons here don't work, because then you have more attacks. Oops. Never really saw the point of this these mini games, because they're just so easy with Rio. I don't think I even needed to jump across the car then, but I did anyway. Nice that it includes these original kind of mid-arcade game mini games. More tea. Tea. Of course, Super Street Fighter 2 added more characters, more backgrounds. Not really sure how faithful the backgrounds are, etc. to Super Street Fighter 2, because for me it's not my favourite version of Street Fighter 2, because they changed the music, and for me I like the intro of Street Fighter 2, you know, Turbo Champion Edition, and I think one of the best things about Street Fighter is the music, so for me it's sacrilege to fuck about with it, and for that reason Super Street Fighter 2 isn't my favourite version. It would be if they'd have kept the music for certain stages and the intro exactly the same, but they didn't, so it's freaking not my favourite version, okay? You wanna fucking go bare knuckle fisticuffs about it, bitches? I love going off on a tangent. So here's a classic character, obviously, and a classic background in all of its remastered Game Boy Advance glory, and yeah, it's pretty nice. And I'm struggling to get my moves out because of the D-pad, and there you got some super kind of combo moves that have been added since the original Street Fighter 2. So yes, Super Street Fighter 2 Revival for the Game Boy Advance. It's okay, it's a kind of cool title to own. This is a level that's been fucked with. The original Guile level was a lot better from the classic Street Fighter 2. But yeah, it's a cool title to own in your pocket, but as far as being an actual great Street Fighter game, I don't think it is. The controls are the main problem. Just the D-pad on the Game Boy Advance and the DS not really suited to the game, and there wasn't enough buttons on the Game Boy Advance to give you all of the attacks, so thumbs up for coolness, but thumbs down for actual kind of longevity and playability, unfortunately. YOLOs.